Welcome to Gray Overload. I'm Anthony, and here is my install of my solar system that was done by All Energy Solar. This is the install that All Energy Solar did, and I'm part of their Solar Ambassador program. If anybody wants to promote solar, they do have a Solar Ambassador program that you can sign up for. You can, if people click on the link and get a quote, there's a gift card involved there, and then if they sign up and they actually have the solar installed, there's another monetary incentive there. So check out the link below. That would be my link for the Solar Ambassador program. If not, check it out. And if there's any details or stuff, that should be on their page as well. I kind of like the Solar Ambassador program. It's good that it promotes solar and gets it out there. And what this company isn't I would say the cheapest, but they do very, very high quality work, and they're not the most expensive. They're quite reasonable. I kind of, as I'm talking to people and going through the process, I'm taking and I'm very scrutinizing every single person. I want this to be something that if I'm going to do, have a company work on my house and deal with them for a long period of time, let's say they want to service it, I want to make sure that they're doing the right thing here. Now, the start of this install, there's a little bit going on here. The master electrician is working on electrical here, and then you'll see a couple guys go in and out of the house with one on the roof, getting some stuff marked out. They're basically putting on some cotter ties on my rafters on the inside. That's basically extra structural support. I was thinking about doing that myself, but when they told me the price, it came down to is a lot less work for me, a lot less time consumption, and much better that they would just go and do it, a little bit less than having me to go and get my brother, coerce him into coming down and help me out do it there. But they did a good job with everything. They cleaned up well on the inside. I was very impressed overall. There was a little bit, I have cans in my ceiling. You can kind of see them in through my that double window there in the front, is that you can see the light shining. It's, they're cans. And, if you step on one a little bit, they kind of pop through the ceiling. Something I got to fix anyways. So, it's not something I'm going to complain about to them or have them fix, right? Because I want to kind of make sure I've done it right and kind of decide how I'm going to put those cans in the ceiling up in the attic. But there's a lot of stuff there. Now, one thing they did when they initially came to the house is they saw down in my attic that something wasn't venting right, which was very appreciative. They took pictures of it. I, bought the house and I haven't done everything I need to fix the house yet. But what happened is that they said that it was a stove venting. It was actually the bathroom venting in there, which we had a very harsh winter last year. A lot of freezing, causing then ice damming on the inside of my roof. That was a really, really fun thing to do and deal with. So I'm dealing with that. I'm going to be putting some new venting in up in the roof here. I have the luxury that my dad's a general contractor, so he gets to tell me how to do it, and then I get to go and do it. But getting back to this install, and a little bit more about this. One reason why I went to Wind Solar, and I'll reiterate this, if you guys didn't see the prior video of the sales pitch, that they sold me on, or that they're trying to sell me on, and the everything else that they, project management, etc. The reason why I went solar wasn't because of going green or anything else. For me, it was to offset some electricity usage and be more independent and more reliant on the energy company. Now, this is a grid-tied system, so I don't have any storage. So on that aspect of it, I don't feel batteries are ready yet. There's a lot out there. Lithium-ion have their own issues, and I really like to see where we kind of go with battery technology here in the next couple of years. I think there's going to be something a little bit more viable down the road that I'd like to be able to try and use, and if that's the case, I would definitely have All Energy Solar probably come out here and do it anyways. I do expect to expand the house at some point, and then I would like to have at least another 9 panels here. And as you see, there's a little jump there, and they got all the racking up very fast. But there's the generator port, as you see off to the right in that area, And I mean, overall, they're doing a pretty good job. This was a 2-day install, and they got all the racking done on the first day. They installed it on May 20th and 21st with We Energies. The master electrician was there so that they could cut off power on the 24th by We Energies to put the new meter in. And I decided to help with that. I did not do any recording of that. There was an option to do all this install myself, right? So there's companies that sell you all the stuff to do it yourself. And while thinking back on it, that would have been a fun thing to do for me, right? I don't know how many people think of installing stuff as fun or working on their house, but for me, it's another little project, right? It's another learning thing. So, I mean, maybe they were a little bit annoyed, the installers and stuff, but I'm asking a lot of questions, right? And I kind of want to see everything go up. One, it's my house, and then two, I love the learning aspect of it, because let's say I did want to do this at some point, or did it on a smaller scale, or let's say build a cabin and do it all myself. This would be one option that I could do as well. And just the learning aspect of it, they were really cool about it. And because of that too, a lot of people are like, well, when you show somebody how to do something and they learn it, then they can do it themselves. Well, the other side of it too is that now that I know, I always have customers watch what I do, especially if I'm repairing their computer. Could they do it? Yes, but they know that I'm going to be repairing it, so, and how I'm repairing it, so they know I'm doing a good job, or at least they get the feeling of it. And if I explain things like they were doing on this install, I get the comfort level of, hey, they actually know what they're doing, and I really appreciate that. So now, let's say I have to update the roof. They do charge per hour to take the stuff down and put it back up, but you can hire them to do that as well. So that's actually really cool that you can do that, and they're upfront about that. That's one question I had as well. There. Now, some things about this install, it went up quite well. I do have I can actually, I'm using the end phase, or the what is it called? What app is this? Enlighten app. So that's the Envo. That's the all the microinverters app, which is actually works pretty well. And the microinverters are the IQ7 pluses 72-2 US. So I got 18 of those because I got 18 panels, and they're attaching all that here. And then I also have let's go in here. I'm actually looking at all the devices. It's pretty cool. I got one Envoy, and that Envoy is the ENV IQAM 1-240. So I haven't dived too much into it. That's going to be my next video. I've been monitoring. I've just about had this system up a month. So approval was done on turn on was done on June 21st or 22nd. So almost a month here. And they did it took a while. One inspector came, I missed him, and because dentists were here, so the one or twice a year I go to the dentist. The inspector comes, just a little bit funny there, but he came the next week, so that was a week delay, and then he had somebody else come out to check everything again, and then from there I went through, and actually the project manager went through and made sure that We Energies was notified. Took a few emails there to get them up and running, and then the engineer came out to turn it all on after the meter was in, and it was on, up and running. And of course, when this is up and running, we were technically in a drought here for the 4 weeks that they had this install done to when they had the install turned on, which is funny because it was sunny basically every single day, the whole day during that time. And now that we've gotten a little rain and it's been more cloudy, the first couple weeks of July here have been pretty cloudy, so my production has been down. But yeah, it is what it is, right? Next year, and this isn't a system that's going to be done just 1 year. It's going to have multiple years, so I'll get some more data, and I'll probably come back in a couple years or in a year after my next video and just tell you how production's kind of going as well. Now, One thing about this system too is that I wanted to manage the system. I did not want somebody else managing my system, right? It's on my house. I have the ability, I'm smart enough to be able to manage it. So, the ownership is my responsibility of this system. So I actually check this system. I actually check it every day. Unless it's cloudy, I usually skip on cloudy days because well, there is some energy production on those days. It's not as much as I'd actually like here. We actually jump into the second day as you see that little transition there. But and if there's an issue, I can go and then contact somebody, right, to get it fixed, right? Who knows if, let's say, something were to get on the roof and eats, one of these microinverters, and that falls underneath, me having to contact my homeowners insurance, which I did contact my homeowners insurance for this, and that is on there. It was a little bit more per month, not much that I would even be concerned about if that's one thing that you're concerned about here. And then I'm not too worried about something getting on the roof. As you see off to the right there, there's a whole line of trees. I did trim those branches back a little bit more so that nothing should get on the roof. I'm constantly trying to cut those back so that we can get that, get that space a little bit more. One, I want kind of like the grass to grow, and two, the trees aren't doing so well right now, but we'll see. And as you see them putting up these panels, they actually put these panels up pretty quick. It was impressive overall how fast these were. Now these are the REC panels. I did get the Alphas 365s for this, so that's a right 365s here. I get pictures of this someplace. Yeah, so it's the REC's 365 AA in black. So I wanted black. I think they look pretty good on the roof, as you see that contrast of brown and black. I've had compliments on them. By the way, I did ask. They have, I don't know why they put these little barcode stickers on all the panels, and you can kind of see them in the picture here in the time lapse, but they're all white, so they're standing out on here. I'm going, oh, it's just going to drive me insane if they're white. I did mention that, by the way. They took them off. All Energy Solar did a great job. I think that they should be off to begin with. REC, if you're listening, or All Energy Solar, just take them off beforehand, or ask your customer if you want them off. One, I think that makes a cleaner look. Especially if I have a two-tone roof like this, where it's going to be black panels on a brown roof, because the white really does stand out. They'll probably really stand out if you have a black roof as well. But yeah, I mean, as we're watching the install, right, they're putting all the stickers on here. So you see these bushes kind of in front. They're Snow Whites actually, and kind of next to the grill. Those actually get about 6-7 feet tall in the summertime, so it actually covers this up quite well. And I do plan on re-landscaping all this. So right now it's all stone. I'm going to rip that all out and or dig it all out, and then put in some, a little bit more flowers, and also put some wood chips and stuff, and make it really nice and neat. That's my plan for next year. But in the wintertime, I'm not too concerned about everyone being able to see this, right? Because no one's outside long enough to even care. So it gets pretty cold here where I'm at in Wisconsin here. But yeah, and overall they're doing a good job. You see them in and out. They are moving quite quickly. They do run all the wires down. The one thing I would change in this install, the more I think about it, is I would have, instead of what I did here, is have the generator port with the interlock in my panel and then the solar down straight, is I would have a transfer switch. And that would allow you to switch more readily between the generator and the solar, right? The one thing it also would do is switching between the battery. Now I get the battery, so that's one thing that you don't really have there. But it is an option I would do differently down the road. there. I also have, by the way, you can have these envoys run off of Wi-Fi. I have everything wired. My whole house, I wired my whole house. Part of me in the in the process of redoing the basement. It's only been 2 years, or wait, 2 years. Yeah, it's gonna be 2 years now. So it's just taking forever for me to get it done. But I wired up every single room in my house because I wanted I wanted connectivity throughout. And this was just one of the options. It works really well. So now that it's plugged in, I like the reliability of the Envoy that way, right? I'm not relying on my wireless or going through anything that is required on that. So that's one benefit. If that's something you want to do, you can wire it up. Just, when you're talking to the installer, make sure of that, right? And one other thing is that it's easier for me to kind of go through and wire it up than it is for me to just do access to wireless all the time, because that's one thing that I have multiple wireless networks here. I kind of keep it as secure as possible. I'm trying. It's hard, but it's a lot of work. But that's one aspect of it here. And as you see, they're getting pretty much done with the install now, and it is starting to rain. This is pretty much just a sprinkle at this point. They were outside. You can see kind of a little bit of the rain coming off here, and they're finishing up quick. Of course, as soon as they get done in perfect timing, it kind of downpours. The GoPro will have a few things of rain here, but I'll let you finish up here, and I'll close out this video as you see the rest of this, and everything else kind of connects. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking the time to help support Gray Overload and helping this channel grow. I really appreciate it. You guys are great. This is my solar install. Let me know what questions you have in the comments below, and I'll do another video here soon on the production and how well it goes. So God bless, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.